The glow of this past weekend sweep of the Yankees has faded now. Win or lose, baseball quickly brings you back to the present. So with a rejuvenating off day behind them now, it's time for the Rangers to refocus on the prize. 19 games to go. The magic number is 12. And with a quick series against the Tigers about to begin, the opportunity to knock a couple more games off of that is here. But we'll continue to preach what has worked for these guys all season. One game at a time, right? Derek Holland on the hill. Your Rangers taking on those Motor City Kitties next. At the ballpark, the Rangers welcoming Detroit for only 2 games, but every game matters down the stretch here. The Rangers getting closer and closer to their goal of taking their first AL West title since 1999. And we welcome you to Texas Ranger Baseball tonight with Tom Grieve. I'm Josh Lewin. Normally we start somewhere near the top of the order talking about a Texas Ranger. We're going to start at the bottom tonight, talk about Julio Bourbon.
Yeah, in the pregame show, we talked about guys stepping up in Josh's absence. One of the guys doing just that is Julio Bourbon, who has gotten a lot of playing time over the last couple of weeks because of Josh's injury. We've seen him make nice defensive plays. We've seen him hit the ball for extra bases to drive in runs. He's utilized his speed by stealing bases, and he had a beautiful bunt single against the Yankees, an important part of the game to bring in a big run. And Josh, he's really been getting the job done, doing a nice job for the ball club.
And a guy who is still in his early 20s doing all that. On the mound tonight, by the way, another lefty in his early 20s, the 23-year-old Derek Holland, trying to keep the Rangers on that winning track. In fact, the Rangers have won 5 straight now. Derek was the winning pitcher when that streak began. It's the Rangers and Detroit when we come back after this.
Magic number of 12 continues to dwindle for these Texas Rangers. It almost seems like a foregone conclusion that they will be in the playoffs, which means it's all the more important that they remain even keel.
Obviously, at this point in the season, we want to get as many wins as we can as quickly as we can. Every game at this point in the season means a lot. So we want to come out there best effort, no matter who we're playing. This is the last 2 games we have before we're in our own division the rest of the way. So two games against a real good team.
And no one more appropriate than to give us our Geico quote than Mr. Even Keel himself, Michael Young. Josh and Tom.
Appreciate it, Em. We're underway with a strike to Austin Jackson. Derek Holland ready to go on a warm and somewhat humid but still breezy night here in Arlington tonight. And the Denton, Texas native, Austin Jackson, quickly finds himself behind 0-2. We will scout out Derek Holland.
Derek's having a nice season, and he's starting to throw the ball really well and with more confidence his last couple of times out. Since he's come back from Oklahoma City, a 2.81 ERA, almost a strikeout per inning. He's been exceptionally tough on left-hand hitters, almost like C.J. Wilson.
All of a sudden, the Rangers have a bunch of lefties they can get out there to start a game with Cliff Lee, C.J. Wilson, Derek Holland, even Matt Harrison. And next year, designs on Michael Kirkman maybe being one of those guys, too.
Yeah, that's become a strong suit. Left-handed starting candidates.
Boy, what a difference. Holland strikes out Jackson.
Well, that pitch is really starting to come into its own for Derek, and that's his slider. He's using it for a strikeout pitch with great success.
After Jackson, you've got Sizemore and Rayburn, then the very dangerous Miguel Cabrera, former Cleveland Indian Johnny Peralta, Brandon Inge, and Casper Wells, former Ranger Gerald Laird, and the switch-hitting shortstop Ramon Santiago. It was for a while, Tag, an exercise in futility, trying to find one left-hand starter when Kenny Rogers had moved on to these Detroit Tigers. Boy, the guys that the Rangers auditioned and had high hopes for, but from John Reinecker to John Karanka, etc., 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 it was just always a hodgepodge of 1 or 2 lefties. And all of a sudden, everywhere you look, there's a lefty that can really do it for you.
Well, that's the product of a strong farm system. Derek, Michael Kirkman, both coming up through the farm system. Derek pitched really well. I can see why he's more confident this year. The way he pitched in AAA, he was 6-2 with a 1.87 ERA. Had 11 starts at AAA. Opponents hit .216 against him.
And of course, the next wave still, everybody talks about that young Martin Perez. I mean young, he's 19. So there's more to come, and already what's here you really do like. And Derek, that last time out, the 5 shutout innings in Toronto.
And 5 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts against a very good hitting team.
Did walk 3 in that game, and he walked Sizemore here to bring up Brian Rayburn. Still no Josh Hamilton in that lineup for the Rangers. We'll show you their defense here with Murphy, Bourbon, and Cruz in the outfield. Young, Andrews, Kinsler, and Moreland round the horn. Ian supposedly suspended for 1 game. We'll have more on that later. He's appealing at that suspension and able to play tonight. Trainer runs out to talk to Holland. These Tigers are 72-72, and I think pretty disappointed, Tom, that they are not in the mix in the AL Central. Jim Leyland's team hanging in there for a while.
Now, they've had a lot of injuries this year, and I think one positive they can take out of this season is how many rookie players have gotten an opportunity to play for them. And an exceptional number of young position players get at bats this year. Some young pitchers have gotten their feet wet. So in the long run, it may end up being something very positive as they continue to try to develop a younger team. They were getting old. They made some trades to get younger. And so in that regard, maybe there are some positive things to take away from the season.
AL Central is going to be between the White Sox and the Twins. Right now the Twins lead by 6, but there's a 3-game series that begins tonight in Chicago. If the White Sox can somehow sweep that series, then it's on. If the Twins sweep it, then it's off. As for where the Rangers are in that AL West, well, how's about a full 8 games up on Oakland? And only 19 games to go. Trying to get it in there.
Yeah, and occasionally when Derek has had some control problems, and in the game at Minnesota 2 starts ago, he was just missing with that pitch, and that one just missed. You know, that's a big part of any left-hander's weapons against right-hand hitters, the ability to throw in.
All of a sudden, 2 walks after the strikeout. The Tigers haven't put it in play yet. And up comes Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, not a good recipe for success against the Tigers to walk 2 guys before Cabrera.
Well, Cabrera is having a complete bounce-back season. Remember at this time last year, his teammates were whispering about his work ethic. He was having some off-field issues. And you got to give him credit. He recommitted off-field and on the field to just get everything right. And boy, this is some kind of year he's had.
Yeah, and even last year with those problems, he hit 324, 34 home runs, and knocked in 103 runs. So it wasn't like he suffered dramatically on the field.
Problem was he suffered like the last week and a half, which is when they really needed him. The Tigers wasn't quite where the Rangers are right now, but they were up by a pretty meaningful amount. And they just couldn't hang on. They were actually 3 games up with 4 games to go and coughed it up. And Cabrera was just kind of absent during those last several games. This year against the Rangers, well, he's been real good.
Now, Cabrera gets pitched very carefully. He's walked 84 times. He's had a ton of intentional walks. His on-base percentage is the best in the league, and you would expect that. The kind of offensive player he is, it doesn't matter who's hitting behind him. You'd rather face that person than Cabrera, so he gets pitched around quite a bit. He's developed a good, solid eye at the plate, too.
Rip and a miss. Fastball running away on Cabrera.
Not a bad spot to pitch Cabrera right there. Tail of fastball at 93 miles an hour, right on the knees on the outside corner.
Infield hangs a double play depth. And Cabrera takes strike 3. Up goes the right arm of Brian Runge.
Well, Cabrera didn't like the call, but it sure looked like a strike. I would have asked where was that pitch if it was called a ball. Let's take a look. Pitch is right down the middle of the plate. Well, middle of the plate and inside corner. No doubt about that thing being a strike.
And then Runge's arm goes up like a toll tag gate.
He's doing the claw. He did the claw. He's caught on.
Well, if he can just call him a little quicker, he can do antlers too.
Well, there might be a play where all the umpires have assignments and the third base umpire has to go to third base to make a call at third base and takes his speed to get down there. He might be able to go. He might be able to go antlers in the same game.
Peralta takes. That's on the corner.
That's what Derek needs to do right there. Establish that fastball on the inside part of the plate like that. Good pitch to Peralta.
If you and I get quickly to commercial here, you and I can give each other the antlers.
No, you'll be doing that. You get the antlers for that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes. One of the really endearing and now enduring things here in 2010 The claw and the antlers. Who knew? Claw when you get a hit, antlers when you show some speed. We don't have a sign for that. That's just Peralta getting out of the way before he got hit in the jaw.
Derek's throwing well. He's had 10 strikes, 12 strikes, and 12 balls. It's not been easy to hit. Both outs have come on strikeouts.
Two on, two out, and a 2-2 count to the former Cleveland Indian Peralta. Bat goes flying into the stands. A slowly hit baseball. Michael Young takes care of Peralta. And Holland is out of the inning. Ford F-150. Check out Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Jack in the Box. Right now, go to Jack in the Box and try Jack's new pastrami grilled sandwich. 90 degrees and a shade humid at the ballpark tonight. Jeremy Bonderman from the Pacific Northwest originally. Hasn't beaten the Rangers in 5 years. Not too long ago, he was one of the top prospects for the Tigers. He pitched some big games in the postseason for them. Tigers, remember, made a surprise trip to the World Series not too long ago. Hint, hint. Andrews takes inside on the bottom of the first underway. Right now, the Rangers do have the third best record of the three division leaders. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. First, we scout out Jeremy Bonderman.
He's had 25 starts. He's got almost a 500 record, a high ERA. Has not pitched well when the opponents are in scoring position. 2 starts against Texas this year have not gone very well. And there was a time where that sinker that he threw was 93, 94 miles an hour. So far in this game, it's not quite there. He's always had a pretty good slider. Probably not quite as hard as it used to be. Missed almost all of last year and a good portion of 2008 with the thoracic outlet syndrome that a number of players have had the last few years. But he's been healthy this year, having a decent season. A little tougher on right-hand hitters than he is on left-hand hitters. Last start was really good against the White Sox. 8 innings, 1 run, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts.
He's got a 5.03 ERA. It would be much higher than that, Tom, if he hadn't had one start rained out in the third inning. He had given up 7 runs and 2 in the third in Cleveland. Then the game got canceled. Those stats didn't count. Chop ball foul from Elvis.
Even without the velocity that he used to have, he could still be successful because he has so much movement on his sinker. That last ball sunk like a left-handed slider.
Andrews giving him a bit of a workout here. 7th pitch of this opening at bat. Hard hits a short. Andrews, Young, and Murphy as your upper third of the Ranger batting order tonight for Ron Washington. Rangers are 80 and 63. And after that front three, it's Vlad Guerrero mashing the ball of late. Cruz and Kinsler after that. Moreland, Trainer, and Bourbon to follow. You know, Tom, I mentioned that the Rangers right now would be that 3 seed in the postseason. You'd love to be the top dog, have that home field advantage all the way. Right now, that is Tampa Bay by half a game. But I'm going to throw this out to you. In the last 11 years, the team that finished with the biggest division lead has failed to win the World Series every time. In fact, 5 of those 11 were eliminated in the first round. Only the 04 Cardinals even reached the World Series. They got swept by the Red Sox. So it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you were the 3 seed or even the 4 seed or something like that, that you're done. In fact, anything but. And as all these guys are saying, especially the guy at the plate, Michael Young, let's not even worry about that stuff yet. Let's just get there first. Young smacks it into center, base hit. Career Ranger hit number 1830. Of course, all in the regular season, more than anybody. Michael Young waiting on that first trip to the playoffs.
Not a bad pitch, really. Didn't get it outside where he wanted it, but it's a sinker down in the strike zone anyway. The Tigers' starting pitching has been really good over the last 23 games. 12-2 with a 2.63 ERA. They've also been swinging the bats pretty well. So with a lot of young guys in the lineup, they're playing some halfway decent baseball the last month.
Murphy with an 11-game hit streak that ties a career high. Hamilton missing his 9th game in a row. And the luxury of having a lead this large, Tag, I guess, is in play. You don't have to rush Josh back necessarily when you're up 8.
Well, the team's playing some good baseball, too.
Yep,
After a little bit of a bad stretch, they've won 5 straight.
You just swept the Yankees without Josh Hamilton.
We've shown Bourbon right before the show started. We've shown Vladdy and how hot he's been. David Murphy has been getting some big hits for the ball club. Elvis has hit well with runners in scoring position all season long. But there's other guys stepping up, picking up the slack. Nelly Cruz is back, pounding the ball. Ian's back. Well, great when Josh comes back. In the meantime, there's other guys that can pick up the slack and get the job done.
To left field, Murphy's been doing a lot of that. A base hit. Young turns it on, goes to third. Murphy coasting into second with a double.
Well, pitchers like to throw David away. And I think it's probably a safer thing to do if you pitch him in. That's the ball that he can pull out of the ballpark. But they're getting very good at taking that tailing fastball on the outside corner to left field. Done this a number of times. There's a ball right on the outside corner. In fact, a little bit outside, too close to take. And David just reaches out and slaps it down the left field line for an extra base hit.
Vladimir Guerrero will have a chance now with the infield back up the middle in just a little bit at first base anyway. And that ground ball will get her done. RBI number 105 for Vladimir Guerrero. Murphy on to third, and now 2 out. Bonderman can be tough the first time through a batting order, but the Rangers are 2 for 4 against him here. Up comes Nelly Cruz.
And in that situation, when you've got the infield back, you want to try to hit the ball back through the middle. You don't want to pull it to the third baseman. That'll keep the run from scoring. But really, there's not much difference between a ground ball to shortstop and a 390-foot fly ball to center field.
You're going to get a run in. You're going to make an out. You're probably going to move the guy from second to third anyway. Only difference is you get an at bat for that ground ball to shortstop. You wouldn't for a sacrifice fly. But as far as the team goes, there's not much difference.
Derek Holland had to work a bit to get out of the top of the inning, 25 pitches. But he's being rewarded for getting through it. Rangers already up 1-0 as Cruz fouls one over by the Tiger dugout. Rangers had to hit the pause button on the win streak yesterday with that scheduled off day. It is now a 5-game win streak following the 5-game losing streak. They're right back where they started. 8 games up on the A's. Squibbed towards first base. And Cabrera will soak it up and go on over in touch-up to end the inning. 1-0 Rangers. Our score at the end of 1. We say hello to Jim Knox.
All right, Josh, Community Corner tonight. We have Deborah Williams with the We Foundation. Tell us a little bit about the We Foundation, Deborah.
Well, the We Foundation is all about creating a channel of opportunities for women and children who come from domestic violence. And our job is to build strong family relationships. And we want to provide a partnership in the community where we can do that. Training programs, getting job opportunities for these women, get them back on their feet.
Well, congratulations. Keep up the good work. You see the information on the screen. Those who want to get involved can go ahead and email you, right?
Right. Email me at thewefoundation.org.
There you go. Thank you, Deborah. Good seeing you. Josh.
Cool. Thank you very much, Jim. Brandon Inge at the plate. Derek Holland in the middle of the at-bat, and Inge will put one foul into the sweet level. You might remember Inge got hit by a Scott Feldman pitch about 6 weeks ago. And that broken hand kept him out for a month. Ooh, and now he's hit again. But this time doesn't look like anything's broken. In fact, he's smiling. Last 2 at-bats Inge has had against the Rangers. He's been hit.
That ball was obviously way inside. Derek just pulled that ball 2 feet inside. And Derek in his last start, we talked about it, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, threw probably 94, 95 pitches in 5 innings. And he's got a high pitch count so far in this game, 29 pitches with nobody out here in the second inning. Good stuff, no doubt about that. Just maybe a little bit more economical with his pitch count would be in his favor. One good thing, though, is you got plenty of guys rested out in the bullpen today after the off day yesterday and Cliff Lee's 8-inning gem on Sunday against the Yankees. So you got a well-rested bullpen. And if Derek's pitch count gets up there a little bit, it won't be a hardship on the bullpen today. The other good thing is there's an off day on Thursday.
Runner goes, ends with a good jump, and Casper Wells booms one into center. First and third for the Tigers now. First time we've seen Casper Wells up close. He's come up and done a pretty nice job. Now hitting in the 3 teams since coming up from Toledo. Remember, they brought up Brennan Bosch earlier this year, and he was really on a roll for a while. This is their latest hot-hitting rookie. Former Ranger Gerald Laird, the last opponent to hit him to a triple play regarding the Rangers. Not that we're begging for that here, but Gerald is a double play candidate. Not moving around real well lately. He's had a bad back. In fact, has not played in 12 days. Gerald talking about that one to Brian Rundle. Got an early update for you from the Oakland, Kansas City game. Thank you, Royals. The A's won yesterday 3-1. One ball, 2 strikes now.
That's Gio Gonzalez and Zach Greinke for Kansas City.
Old Greinke has not had himself a great follow-up season to his Cy Young. 8-12. Oakland got a win yesterday from a rookie 31-year-old Bobby Kramer, who was pitching in the Mexican League recently and has been a substitute teacher in the off seasons. Found himself in the middle of a pennant race of sorts, and he pitched into the 6th inning, gave up just 1 run. Yeah, I got to document that with the camera real quick. He caught the foul ball. Turn around, look, smile, or don't. Crowd of probably about 22,000, I would say, so far tonight. Tomorrow is going to be a big crowd, we're told. The last dollar hot dog night. 972 Rangers to call and get your tickets if you don't have them. Laird, a big swing. Down he goes for the first out.
Well, he went after a pitch, might have been a little bit high. Take another look at it. Yeah, it's definitely a little high, right around chin level. And we got 1 out now, 1st and 3rd. Shot at a double play to get out of the inning. Last time we saw the Tigers, Josh, it seemed like Santiago hit about 100 foul balls.
Yeah, it sure did.
It just seemed like he was up there forever, no matter who he was facing. Don't know if he's still got that peskiness going for him now or not.
He had a 13-pitch at bat against Neftali Feliz in one of those games. You know, Santiago, although he's been slumping of late, very tough on the Rangers. 9 for 25. That's their number 9 hitter.
Over the last 24 games, the Tigers have scored more runs than any team in the American League. They're averaging close to 6 runs a game for just about a month. That's without Maglio Ordonez, Carlos Guillen.
Yep, Guillen's going to have some surgery. Tigers 13.5 out. And again, the Rangers 8 games up, trying to move up from there if everything cooperates tonight. Could get the magic number down to 10.
Missing with his slider. He had the strikeout of Austin Jackson to start the game with a really good slider. And for the most part, he's been holding on to it a little too long. It's been down and significantly inside to where the hitter really hasn't been tempted to swing at most of them.
Swinging 3-1. That ball shooting into right. Nelson Cruz is poised and ready. Brandon Inge coming on in. The throw rolling it to the plate. And Inge with speed. Able to get in there. Nelly sometimes can uncork from right there and get it on one nice strong bounce. But that one kind of stopped, dropped, and rolled.
Yeah, he just threw it into the ground. It was a strong throw. It just didn't go far enough. Hung on to it a little bit too long. And even with a throw that got there in one hop, he wasn't going to throw Inge out from where he is.
Well, RBI ground out for the Rangers. RBI sac fly for Detroit. Top of the order, Jackson. Clouding up quite a bit here at the ballpark, and the wind has shifted its direction. The wind picking up.
It's cooled off a little bit, too. Temperature's down in the low 80s right now. It's dropped about 10 or 12 degrees right around game time. A little bit before the game, maybe. Not looking for any rain, but I don't mind the temperature drop. It's actually feeling pretty good up here right now. Jackson's had a nice rookie season. You know, early in the year he was hot and he was striking out a little bit, which he's done all year, and you wondered if he could maintain his pace, and he has all season long. He's 10th in the league with a .305 average. Just a really nice season for a rookie center fielder. He's had a much better year than Curtis Granderson, who he was traded for.
Yeah.
The Yankees traded the young player because I guess they feel like they need veterans to win, but they may have traded a gem right here. Second in the league with 10 triples, sixth with 94 runs scored.
And only scratching the surface, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to figure out the nuances of the game.
22 out of 27 stealing bases. He struck out 152 times. That's a lot. But his on base percentage is .361, which is solid for a leadoff hitter, especially a rookie.
Out of Denton Ryan High School not too long ago.
That's the one he missed the first time up. Laid off at this time.
Holland still trying to prove he can throw that near enough to the strike zone.
Yeah, Derek threw somewhere around 25 pitches in the first inning. He's going to be right around there in the second inning, too.
Yeah, a lot of deep counts. 2 walks and a hit batsman. Once through the order for Derek. Runner goes, and a foul from Jackson. And Casper Wells, the former Towson University star. So he was destined to be a Tiger either way. They are the Towson Tigers, and your buddy, former Ranger manager Billy Hunter.
That's right.
Was the athletic director there, or was for a while.
Coach baseball, thought he was going to retire, and they talked him into being the athletic director.
There goes Casper Wells, and it's a moot point. Jackson chases the high heat. 1-1 tie in the ballpark tonight. is appealing. More on that in a moment. In fact, Emily Jones later in the broadcast will have more on all the particulars. But if you heard the news that Ian Kinsler was supposed to be sitting down for a game, he is appealing that suspension. And Kinsler will be followed by Moreland and Trainer, with the wind really whipping around now at the ballpark. We understand there's some rain north of here. All we've got is wind and some big gray clouds, but no actual rain.
Yeah, the wind's blowing straight in from left field. Usually it blows in from center field or right center field. A little bit different direction tonight.
Blowing into the booth, that means hold on to your papers here, Tag.
Yep, I got them paper weighted down with media guides.
That's what they're for. That's too low to Kinsler. Ian flirting with a 300 batting average. Is at 294 right now.
Temperatures dropped 3 more degrees. It's down to 80. Good eye by Ian.
Yep.
Grown accustomed to that this year from him.
And a lot of these Rangers, too. Moreland comes up next.
Ian's on base percentage 382. He's almost walked as much as he struck out.
Moreland with basically an RBI a game over the last week and a half. Kinsler goes. Laird throws, skipping it in there, and Kinsler is out. The two guys who used to get on each other good-naturedly all the time. Good buds, Kinsler and Laird in that Ranger clubhouse. Laird gets Kinsler.
It looked like Ian had a halfway decent jump. And Laird bounced it, but he got it there quickly.
Bonderman straight set outside corner. Take you back to the tag. These Tigers most recently played against the Orioles. Had a 5-run eighth to beat them on Sunday, 6-2. Of course, the Rangers were in the process Sunday of sweeping the New York Yankees. And the Yankees played an epic game yesterday against Tampa Bay. David Price against CC Sabathia. That one scoreless into extra innings. And Reed Brignac wins it with a walk-off homer yesterday. A lot of people talking about a crowd of only about 25,000 in Tampa Bay.
That's hard to believe. That's hard to believe.
Sabathia and Price, two best teams in the AL.
Not sure what's going on down there, but boy, when you've got that kind of a team playing the New York Yankees for first place in the East, and that's what you draw, that's embarrassing. Don't blame Tampa Bay for looking for a new stadium. It's got to be really disheartening to the players who have played so hard to get to that point and see that kind of a crowd.
Moreland into center field, and here's Jackson to run it down. We'll update that Yankees Tampa Bay game in just a bit, the one from tonight. Folks, you can visit the official online shop of the Rangers at TexasRangers.com. The largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, and jerseys. TexasRangers.com/shop. Or you can get the Claw and Antlers shirt information now, too. Matt Trainer sends one to left. One pitch and good night for Matt Trainer on this breezy evening at the ballpark. Tied at 1 at the end of 2. 150. Ford is the best in Texas. Also by Geico Insurance. For 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance. And by AT&T. Rethink possible. 2-3-4 in the Tigers' order in the top of the third. Derek Holland has needed close to 50 pitches to get through 2 innings. Getting ahead this time. Past Kinsler into right center, base hit. Sizemore on for a second time.
Got one shout out tonight, Josh.
Okay.
Mabel Wheat from Cooper, Texas is 89 years old today. She's at the game. She watches every game. And she works 6 days a week at Miller's Soda Fountain in Cooper, Texas. For 59 years,
wow.
She's been making all the ice cream there.
Really?
And she's the one that sent up those 2 cups of delicious ice cream. Kurt Dykert sampled one of them, said it was terrific.
And by sample, you mean inhale?
Like eat the whole thing.
Right.
And she's enjoying the game tonight at the Cuervo Club with her family. So, Mabel, happy birthday, and thanks for being such a great fan, and thanks for the ice cream as well.
Sunday in the Diamond Club, they were celebrating. And Jane Dell was there. She's from Plano, and she's the one, Tom, who sent up that really nice compendium, that little book of odd things that...
Oh, yeah, I saw you reading that.
One of the announcers on this broadcast says. So thank you very much for that, Jane. So, cell phones not working, or?
See, if Mom is watching, she might not even recognize him.
That's how he normally looks there, Tom.
With the paint?
Yeah.
Okay.
For Thanksgiving, he just puts, like orange on there and paints on cranberries and it's an interesting thing to put on a bed sheet in September. I will grant you that. One and two, the count to Rayburn. You know who we're going to see on April Fool's Day, Tom, in 2011? The Boston Red Sox right here. The schedule is out for 2011. And for the first time in forever, Major League Baseball is going to be opening its season on a Friday, not on a Monday, but on the first weekend of April, the first, second, and third. The Red Sox will be here to start the season. That hit him, I guess it did. The second hit by pitch from Derek Holland.
Well, Derek, I think you have to say, has really good stuff tonight. He's throwing hard. His breaking ball is moving well. The problem is it's not going where he wants to very often. When it does, he's had some pretty good success. He struck out 4 in the first 2 innings. He's going to have to locate the ball a little bit better, though.
Miguel Cabrera is not the bunting type. He got 2 on and nobody out. This is a guy with 116 runs batted in, and twice now he has batted with 2 on.
And Derek struck him out the first inning after walking 2 batters with 1 out.
Right at him again. It's pretty impressive what he's doing to Cabrera.
Well, last time up, he threw him a fastball right on the outside corner. Cabrera missed it. And then he struck him out looking on that pitch right there, a fastball on the inside corner. Cabrera argued with the umpire, looked at him, but the replay seemed to show that it was definitely a strike.
We got him to pop it up in a short right. Kinsler dropped it. The infield fly rule was not in effect. Kinsler was too far back into the outfield, and the bases are loaded. I'm surprised that Nelly Cruz didn't take command. It seemed like he had a better angle on it, but Kinsler was calling and hit him in the glove. It's an E4.
No, that's up to the outfielder if he feels like he can catch the ball to call the infielder off. The infielder goes as far as he can.
Could the wind take that a little bit?
I think the wind played a part in that play. Ian's generally very good on that, has excellent range going back on the ball. He got there, made a little adjustment, and the ball just went off the top of his glove. It's a bad break right there. Gets one of the best RBI guys in baseball to pop up with 2 men on.
Well, Peralta, remembering the scouting report from him in Cleveland, he hits the ball on the ground to the left side a ton. And the Rangers have the infield back at double play depth. A sharply hit ground ball to a guy like Young or Andrews, guys with good arms. They'll possibly consider coming home. That's not a ground ball. That is skied into left. Murphy sets his feet, runs up and grabs it and fires towards third to hold the runners there.
Well, the wind just knocked that ball straight down. Looked like he hit it pretty well.
Another sac fly for Detroit. Yeah, off the bat, it looked like that was trouble.
But, you know, if they catch the pop-up, now you've got 2 men on and 2 outs. Pretty good fastball, inside corner. Pretty good swing. Hit the ball pretty well, too. It just didn't go anywhere.
Brandon Inge hit by a pitch in the second inning and scored. The Rangers will get action already in the bullpen behind Holland. There's another fly ball to left. And again, the wind just kind of thumbtacks it up there. 3 pitchers and 3 pop-ups. Cabrera, Peralta, and Inge all first ball swinging. Unfortunately, one of those balls was dropped by Kinsler.
Yeah, that is unfortunate because Derek would have been able to pitch his way out of the jam. He's walked a couple. He's hit a couple. So 4 guys in 3 innings he's put on. Been a couple of hits and 4 strikeouts.
Last time against Toronto, Tom, he was into the 5th inning at this pitch count of 62. Tonight he is not yet out of the 3rd. And again, that's that breaking stuff to the right-handers, just not able to get that over yet. Casper Wells batting for the 2nd time. Wells from Schenectady, New York, not too far from Tom Greaves' hometown of Pittsfield, Mass.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Go through the Berkshires and you can see Tom's house. But the
My house has been inhabited by 1 family for 62 years.
Slowly hit, a base hit. Murphy's going to charge, but the Tigers score again. It's now 3-1. And Mike Maddox, before that ball was even ruled dead, and the umpire said time, Mike Maddox was out there to gather up Derek Holland. Casper Wells now 2 for 2. Tough matchup for Derek because of this, and a lot of the success the Tigers have had, obviously, is Miguel Cabrera. When you talk about hitting lefties. Nippert continues to warm. Well, I guess the good news is Jeremy Bonderman, usually 2nd time through the batting order, starts to wobble. The Rangers will try to get going on him pretty soon. Now 6-0 Kansas City over the Oakland A's. Gio Gonzalez getting knocked around tonight. Laird to right. Nelson Cruz has it. And Holland is off the mound, but trailing now 3-1 here in Arlington tonight. Inning 3. It is a Dr. Pepper autograph Wednesday tomorrow with Ranger players and coaches signing for kids 13 and under starting at 5:30. Of course, it's also a $1 hot dog night. A 7:05 first pitch tomorrow. Colby Lewis will be on the mound. Strike to Bourbon. We were talking about him before the game and how he's been coming on. 357 average the last couple of weeks, playing a lot more with Hamilton out of the lineup. "12 bunt hits now. Only the Angels' Eric Ibar has more. Elvis Andrus makes that list of top 5 as well. Couple of hits for the Rangers. They were back-to-back in the first inning. Michael Young and David Murphy. And now Bourbon with a high fly ball, shallow center. That is Santiago for the out. Tom, we mentioned the schedule for next year is out. The Yankees make only one trip in. It's going to be in May, Mother's Day weekend. The Red Sox make 2 trips in, including opening weekend, which again is a really early start this year, a Friday start for 2011, April 1. The thing that jumps out at me about the 2011 schedule, the Rangers have only 10 September home games. They're going to have to do some heavy lifting on the road in that final month.
Are there a lot of interdivisional games in September, like this year?
Yeah, the season closes with all Seattle, Oakland, and the Angels again.
That's good.
And I know we're also fastened in on 2010, and for all the right reasons. But if you're curious, the interleague opponents for the Rangers here, drum roll. Well, of course, you get to see the Astros. That's every year. And your other 2 National League teams, ladies and gentlemen, the Florida Marlins, who seem to come here like every other year for some reason, and the New York Mets. The Rangers interleague-wise go to Houston. And this is a tough draw. They get the Phillies and the Braves on the road. You get the NL East and you don't get Washington. No offense to Washington, but you figure the Phillies, the Braves, and the Mets are usually your top three, and every once in a while the Marlins are in there too.
Well, the Rangers got a pretty good draw this year with the teams they played in interleague play compared to some of the possibilities.
Yep, that's true. Andrews down on strikes.
Didn't play Cincinnati, didn't play St. Louis. First strikeout for Bonner. Down and away. Good pitch.
Well, the wind continues to really howl.
It was 95 when I got here this afternoon, and it's 78 now. It was 83 about 20 minutes ago. At this rate, we're going to have to send down for a parka.
It's going to be -7 by the 8th inning. Line drive to left field. Young is out. Rangers trail 3-1 at the end of 3. Throughout the state of Texas. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to Youth League Baseball, go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Well, the Rangers will give Derek Holland one more chance to settle down. Just hasn't had that command tonight. Averaging 22 pitches per inning. He's allowed a couple of sac flies and one RBI single in this one. That ball takes off from Santiago. Cruz still going, and he dropped it. The Rangers have dropped 2 fly balls, and this is not to completely excuse it, but that wind obviously is making things a little bit perilous for the guys.
You can overcome the wind for sure, but both of those balls were severely affected by the wind. That ball went 50 feet farther than it looked like it was going to go. It looked like a little lazy semi-line drive to right field. Nelly looked, I thought he was going to be able to catch it right where he stood, and the ball is not only going farther, it's going towards center field too. The ball, you can see that ball is not only a little farther than Nelly thought, but it was a little more towards center field than he thought, and the same thing happened to Ian on the ball that he dropped.
Now a bunt popped up back into the crowd. I think this kind of wind tonight, Tom, proves what a lot of people say about what happens with wind at this ballpark. Wherever the flags are pointing, basically the ball shoots out the opposite way, because the wind will hit this big upper part of the stadium and it just kind of recycles the air back. I mean, you've got the flags pointing away from Nelson Cruz. kind of towards that right field corner. And that ball behaved exactly the opposite. It kept going over his right shoulder. According to these flags, you'd think a high fly ball would be pushed a little bit in and to the right. Instead, that one was back and to the left. Hard hit. Elvis Andrews has got it, holding the runner. Austin Jackson is out.
Well, a lot depends on how high it's hit, too. We've seen a ball hit the left field that was sky high, affected by the wind in the direction you would expect it to be. It came back toward shortstop a little bit.
A little bit outside here to Sizemore. We're told that the rain in the area is moving south to west, which, again, as you said earlier, Tom, just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. You never see the wind coming in from left field here. We've had weird September weather before. This is not the first time ever. That one had some bite to it. And Sizemore offered at it.
That's one of those sliders that was tempting. Some of them have been a little bit too far out of the strike zone for a hitter to be tempted. This one was close enough, and Sizemore couldn't lay off it. Actually, it didn't look like a strike, but it actually caught the corner of our tracker.
Oakland still getting crushed 6-0. Kila Ka'ihua with a home run for Kansas City tonight. And the Rays lead on the Yankees now. How about that? They were down 6-0. Tampa Bay is now up 7-6.
That must mean that Willie Ibar hit a 3-run homer.
How do you know that?
Or a 3-run double, because it's 6-4 on our board. Ibar's up with the bases loaded. Must have hit a 3-run double.
All I know is there's 7 runs in the bottom of the 5th.
Oh, they switched it. Boy, and there's probably about 25,000 people there to watch that comeback against the Yankees.
Now the Yankees took a 6-0 lead on Matt Garza.
You would think there'd be more than 25,000 Yankee fans living down there that would go to the game.
Wait a minute, New Yorkers retire in Florida?
Well, there's a few of them in Tampa. I know that. During spring training, you can't get a ticket to a spring training game for the Yankees. That's just weird in itself.
It's a school night?
Yeah, but not for all those retirees. Maybe the bad economic times is affecting the area.
Stroked in left and a base hit for Sizemore. Murphy's going to cut it off. Sizemore wheels towards second and jams on the brakes, but he's got that run batted in to make it 4-1 Detroit. And another trip to the mound from Mike Maddox.
Well, let's see, not all. The first run was earned. The last 3 runs are unearned runs. Sizemore with a walk and a couple of singles. Came into the game hitting 205, but wouldn't know it by the way he's swinging the bat today.
Well, the Tigers had the 5-run eighth their last time that they were playing ball on Sunday. Now 4 quick runs tonight through 4 innings, so they're starting to crank it up again. Kansas City cranking now too, 9-0. They're going to outscore the Chiefs if they're not careful.
Well, if they outscore the Chiefs, they're going to outscore somebody else too.
Yeah, I know. Well aware. Ryan Rayburn up in the count 1-0. We're getting a lot of high flies. Murphy with the focus very intense right there. There's been some weird things happening with fly balls tonight. We mentioned the same 2 teams have at it tomorrow. Colby Lewis will be on the mound for the Rangers. Rick Porcello for Detroit. Now, Cabrera, toughest hitter in their lineup. Holland has actually gone after him. He's challenged him and done pretty well against him. Strikeout and a pop-up. Also weird to think, Tom, that you've got another off day coming up this week. The Rangers just had one yesterday. They're going to have one day after tomorrow.
Yeah, you'd like to have it in about a week or 10 days just to split up the end of the season, all those consecutive games the Rangers play.
And the Rangers basically have to sleep real well tomorrow night and during the day on the 16th because, yeah, they don't get a day off the rest of the way. If they wrap up the division, say with a week to go, then obviously you can kind of trade out who's resting on a given night. Trainer got a little bit of that foul tip, shaking that hand around.
Well, really everybody on the field except for Michael Young has had plenty of time off. Kinsler's missed time on the disabled list. Cruz has missed time on the disabled list. Bourbon hasn't played regularly at times this year. Trainers split time at the catching. Elvis just had four straight days off in Toronto. So as far as position players go, they should be well rested. Young, strong guys, they won't have any problem. And as far as the staff goes, with all the extra guys up in September, you wouldn't think that would be a problem either.
Sometimes you don't want time off. Clint Hurdle can tell you all about that. When the Rockies went to the World Series, had to wait a week to find out who their opponent was going to be. They got plenty of rest. By the time the Boston Red Sox arrived to play them, they had rusted over, those Colorado Rockies.
Same thing happened to the Tigers. They had to wait for the Cardinals for a week. They finished off the American League and had to wait a week to play in the World Series. And then it rained. And they had a rain out in St. Louis. That's tough.
Cabrera again disposed of by Holland.
Well, it shows you the kind of stuff he's got, what he's done to Cabrera tonight, and that's their best hitter.
4-1 Tigers are scored. action here in the bottom of the fourth. 2 drop fly balls figuring into this tonight. The Tigers lead by 3. 3, 4, 5 in the Ranger batting order. Murphy, Guerrero, and Cruz. The wind continues to whip around here. It's a factor tonight. We've lost 13 degrees along the way in the last not even hour. Murphy, high fly ball way up there, right down the line. It is bending. It's there. It's a home run. And they're going to argue down in that corner. Casper Wells is pointing. Jim Leland is coming out. But for now, it's a home run.
There's never been a home run that I remember in this ballpark that went into that second deck fair. There's been a few that have gone up there foul, but I've never seen one go up there fair.
Jerry Lane is the crew chief, and he is working at first base. He's going to tell Jim Leland what he saw.
That was higher than the foul pole. Obviously, the wind is blowing, and from what we've seen on balls hit that way, they do get pushed a little bit towards center field. So that one probably didn't hook much.
Way back when Hamilton was trying to get from 9 home runs to 10, we thought he had done it. They didn't go to replay, and it ended up being called a double instead of a home run inadvertently.
They're going to go look at this one, I think.
Here's Murphy trying to get from 9 to 10. This will either be a home run or a foul ball. That's why they have instituted replay.
That's what they should do. They talked about it. No one knew for sure. Based on that, it looks foul. Never lost track of the ball. If you see the ball all the way, it's got to be foul. That would appear to be foul.
And the only thing you're hoping for is that maybe they'll see that it grazed the outside of the pole, but I didn't see that on the replay.
Boy, that thing, if that thing is foul, and it looks like it might be, it's foul by about 6 inches.
It's tough to tell because it goes right over that golden ball on the top of the pole. So it's not.
Well, that's a good point. Maybe when it's coming down, it's behind the yellow,
right,
and not in front of the yellow, which in that regard doesn't necessarily mean that it's foul.
This is going to go over, I believe. Boy, from that angle, it looks fair, doesn't it?
Yeah, the only thing is you never lose track of the ball. You don't lose the ball behind the foul pole.
Which is usually the telltale sign, right?
Yeah, except that ball had to come down beyond the foul pole.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm perplexed. Maybe it's not conclusive and the home run will stand.
You need irrefutable evidence, right, to overturn. It looked to me like it was a long field goal attempt that just dipped over the crossbar. Not like it went wide one way or the other. It looks like it went over.
It's above the foul pole and beyond it.
And I think you're right, Tom. I think that's why you don't see it disappear either way.
That can be fair, I think.
From that angle,
it can be fair.
It looks like it's right over that golden ball on the top, which is...
All it has to do is be fair when it goes by the foul pole. And I don't know how you could say for sure that that ball was foul. It looked like it went right over the top of the foul pole and then did hook inches to the right. But when it went by the foul pole, I think that ball looked like it could have been fair.
I think what they'll come out and tell us is if it's over the foul pole, it's fair in a home run. If it's simply wide one way or the other, it's going to be wide right and therefore a foul.
Now that looks foul right there, but see, we're way on the left side of the foul pole. We're not at home plate looking at that ball. So that now we are. Now look at it from this angle. It looks fair.
What an optical illusion, huh?
That ball's fair right there.
From that angle, it's fair. From the other angle, it's foul. That one right there is the home plate camera.
See, now that camera's to the right, so we don't have a camera right on the foul line looking straight out toward it. You can tell that the umpires are having a hard time with this call because normally they would be back out here. They're looking at it just like we are over and over again, and I think just that tells you they got to leave it fair. If you can't tell after all those replays and you made the call that it's fair, then I think it should stand. Of course, I have a little bit more invested in the Rangers than I do the Tigers.
Well, this is true.
Tiger announcers are saying just the opposite.
Here they come.
It must be fair.
I think they're going to.
He's talking to Leland. Leland wouldn't have to be talking right now if that ball was foul. That's a good sign.
Well, David Murphy.
They sure have done a lot of talking if this ball is foul.
It's a home run.
I think that's the right call.
Now they can go over and congratulate him, sure. Now he gets to do the clock. 4-2. Murphy hits indeed his 10th home run to go with a double to left. He's got a homer to right in the optical illusion of the year. This will be a good look at it from this angle.
I think it's fair.
Yeah, I think it's. Oh, and now Vladdy is hit as we come back live. Bonderman's first pitch to Guerrero hits him in the hand.
So Bonderman's not trying to do that. And from a team perspective, they've been hit twice. Heck, I've seen Vlad hit that ball for a double. Yeah, I think when that ball might have come down foul, but it went by the foul pole fair, right at the top of it. I think the umpires made the right call. I say it did. It looked like it did.
Nelson Cruz with a foul. Suddenly, the Rangers have the tying man up. And, you know, you said something, Tom, that I think bears repeating. You never see a home run in that level right down the line. Because, I mean, you'd have to do exactly what David Murphy did, which is just clear the top of the pole.
I don't know if we've seen a home run reviewed that wasn't overturned either. We haven't seen a lot of reviews, but generally, when they go in to check it, they come back and say, "Oh, sorry, foul ball."
Bonderman on 0-2. And a foul by Cruz. Grounded towards the hole. Santiago cuts it off. Nicely done there. Getting the one out. It stays 4-2 with Kinsler coming up. We say hi to Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Josh. Look who we have here. Why, it's Miss Texas. She actually is a big-time Ranger fan. Grew up at South Lake Carroll. Goes to TCU. Sang the national anthem. What was that like?
Actually, I've been singing the national anthem since I was 7 at sporting events when I used to live actually in Philadelphia. So it was all good. It was more about staying cool in a suit and trying to look nice singing the anthem. That was the biggest challenge, really.
There you go. You did a great job. You won the crown in July. What was the first thing you did, Ashley?
I'm going to be honest, I crushed a whole pizza.
I don't blame you. You got the Miss America pageant going on in January. You're training now, right?
Oh, yeah, so no more crushing pizza. It's more crushing protein shakes and energy bars. And, you know, traveling the state of Texas is training in itself. So I'm really excited, and I'll just work real hard and try my best.
There we go. Well, best of luck to you, and we'll let you continue to root on the Rangers, all right?
Thank you.
There we go, Josh.
Ball getting away from Laird. Cruz is down to second base. This inning starting to go okay for Texas. Boy, David Murphy just continues to get big hits. His home run got the Rangers back to within 2. Let him swing 3-0 here, Tag, or no?
Nah, I'd take.
He does take, and it's a strike.
I'd make him throw a couple more. Make him throw a strike. Now he's got to throw another strike. Ian's got a good eye at the plate. And Mitch coming up next. You're down by a couple runs. I'd say in this particular case, the base runner takes precedent. Let him swing now, obviously, 3-1. But he worked a walk. That's why you take that. But we can't throw another strike.
Kinsler is on. We go to Emily Jones.
Well, Josh, you mentioned a little bit earlier in the show about Ian Kinsler being handed a 1-game suspension after coming back onto the field after he had been ejected on Friday night. Here was his reaction when he found out the news of the suspension.
I was pretty shocked originally. I mean, it didn't even enter my mind. You know, when I was running on the field, after the fact, I didn't even think about it. So it's pretty weird. I guess they have rules in place for a reason, and see what happens. See what happens if I have to serve this. Maybe appeal it, and I don't know how that whole process works. I've never been in this situation before, so just got to wait it out.
The appeal process has begun for Ian. We'll, of course, keep you posted. You can find the latest on Ian's status and all things Rangers on our website at foxsportssouthwest.com. Josh, Tom, back to you.
All right, Em, thank you. More weirdness there. Kinsler getting suspended for coming on the field to celebrate a walk-off home run. Moreland, a base hit into right center field. Here comes Nelson Cruz. And here come the Rangers. It's 4-3.
Yeah, Mitch continues to get his hits and swing the bat well, get big hits for the Rangers. It'll be tough to get him out of the lineup, whether it's a lefty or a righty pitching. Like a big hit against the lefty. In fact, the last couple of times the lefty's been in there to keep part of the game late, he hasn't been hit for, and he's come through with hits. He had a double down the right field line. He had a base hit off Boone Logan to drive in a run to left center field the other night. Oh, he's gaining more confidence and hitting more line drives.
Seeing more and more of Moreland, and of course less of Jorge Cantu.
Well, it's about production, and Mitch is the one doing the producing right now.
Isn't that funny?
That's kind of the way it is in a pennant race.
It is. And they bring in Cantu, who's a veteran leader, a proven 100 RBI guy. But you're right. I mean, right now, the guy who is producing is Moreland.
I just was corrected.
What's that?
Kurt Deicher's producing today.
Ah.
Well, that was a major slight right there. These guys wouldn't even know where the truck is, let alone be able to produce.
Or direct. Yeah. Of course, Kurt Deichert probably couldn't hit a line drive in the right center off Bonderman, so.
Probably not. Although he might be able to hit it off Milton Bonderman, this 92-year-old from Arlington who's playing in a.
I don't know. You still got to run those bases, though. Tough to do when you're full of ice cream.
Well, as you said, he tends to start out a little bit better than he ends up in the middle innings, and that's where we are right now in the middle innings.
Going to zip that one by Trainer, though. And leave the inning to Bourbon. Get you to the AT&T trivia question, which normally we do the first batter of the fourth inning. The way this inning has gone, we're doing it in the seventh batter of the inning. The Ranger record for most bunt hits in a season. Julio Bourbon leads the team, but who's got the Ranger record, and what is that record? Answer coming up in the top of the fifth. Tampa Bay and the Yankees, by the way, now tied 7-7.
We got a different kind of a classic game going tonight.
Yep, it was 0-0 for forever yesterday. Now they're 7-7 tonight. Eddie Ponine in the bullpen for the Tigers now. Yeah, Bonderman seems to just kind of run out of gas sometimes in the second, third time through an order. Well, update from Kansas City, too. It's now 11-0 Royals over the A's. And while that's going on over there, here are the Rangers trying to rally from down 4-1. They've already carved it to 4-3. Bourbon is on, and Andrews coming up. A really long and productive bottom of the fourth inning. Elvis Andrews has the second best batting average in the league with runners in scoring position, and he's coming up right now. A quick dispatch of the pitching coach will precede the Andrews at bat.
In this inning, after Murphy's home run, there's been a hit by pitch. That was Guerrero. Kinsler's walked. Bourbon has walked. Moreland had the RBI hit. Hit right here sure would break the inning open nicely.
Rick Knapp, that Tigers pitching coach, heads on back to the dugout. With 2 outs and runners in scoring position, Elvis is the best. First one inside. Michael Young on deck. Inning started with a disputed home run. After a long look at it, it stuck. In there, off speed. Yeah, Kinsler is the tying man. Moreland down at second. Bourbon just walked. That's another sign of Julio's maturity, walking a lot more of late. Remember, this year began with Julio walking twice in his first 100 trips to the plate. Thomas is now a 27-pitch bottom of the fourth inning. Chop ball. In, dropped it. This game is tied.
is generally a fairly sure-handed third baseman. That ball took a big hop. He might have been trying to hurry to get the throw off before he actually secured the ball. In any event, nice break for the Rangers as they tie the game. Tigers have had a couple of nice breaks too. It's led to 3 unearned runs for them. Maybe we'll get a chance to see if he does take his eye off it. He might have looked towards second base a little bit, and he was going to have a hard time making a play because Bourbon was the runner and he was flying towards second base.
There's a drop we can't blame on the wind.
I think you can blame it on speed, though. Fast runner at first and a fast batter at the plate. And that high chopper was going to result in a tough play for Inge one way or the other.
4 runs, 4 hits both ways now. The Rangers with 2 errors and the Tigers with 1. And Michael Young trying to break this open now. The 9th man to hit in the inning. One and one. A 3-run bottom of the 4th. Getting Derek Holland off the hook. Rolling foul, 1 and 2. Bonderman pretty much breezed through 3 innings. All kinds of trouble now here in the 4th. That pitch count for the game is close to 80. Bonderman with the sign he likes. Will miss down and in.
Some of his sinkers have moved so much they didn't have a chance to be a strike. They just moved right out of the strike zone. That was one of them.
With the bases loaded, Michael Young on the ground to short. Finally, the inning is over. The Rangers bat around. They strand 3 and they score 3. A David Murphy homer started it off. A question that we were talking about, brought to you by AT&T. Back right now with that trivia question. The Ranger record for most bunts in a season. Bourbone's got 12 this year. Otis, my man, in 1995. Otis Nixon, right before it all got good for the Rangers. In 1996 is when they went to the playoffs for the first time. Went 3 times in a stretch of 4 years. Haven't been back since. Trying to change that here in the year 2010. Got a chance to go up 9 games in the AL West if it all comes together tonight. Here's your Verizon wireless call to the bullpen. And Dustin Nippert is the man now. And the very first thing he does is give up a bloop. Caught by
It
Moreland.
wasn't hit very hard, but Mitch had a long way to go. Fortunately, he had a glove on his right hand. He was able to go in that direction, reach and lunge as far as he could, and takes a little bloop hit away from Peralta.
Boy, he went after it like a panther right there. And Mitch Moreland hangs on, robbing Peralta to start the inning. That is the first thing we'll get a reaction to from Steve Busby, who joins us in the booth here in the top of the 5th. And Buzz, on a night where there have been some defensive challenges. That's a heck of a play.
Yeah. Is there a full moon tonight or something? I missed it if there is.
We can arrange one.
Yeah, it should be. Well, I had a guy over there at first base for 160 years. I mean, that's what he's supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
A routine catch.
Right. You work on that in spring training.
Exactly.
Thing.
Exactly.
The wind obviously has been a factor tonight, Buzz. We've seen some fly balls do some weird things.
Yeah, and it's an odd wind. I know you and Tom have been talking about it. Coming in straight from the east, and, well, there's no tell. You know, most of the time, I don't care what direction the wind is blowing according to the flags. Guys on the field know that it's going to blow a certain way in the outfield, and you kind of get accustomed to that. And it looked like Nelly Cruz, on the ball that he misplayed, took it for granted that it was a normal jet stream going out to right field and wouldn't play too many tricks with it, but wrong. I thought Ian was going to get punked on the coconut with that pop-up.
Yeah.
Dancing around up there.
Buzz, as a pitcher, I know it affects pitchers in different ways, but how does it affect you when you have errors made behind you? What do you try to do when that happens? I mean, I know you get flustered a little bit. You have to.
Yeah, a little bit, Tom. I think I told you one time I'd like to be a real stand-up guy and say I always went over and patted the guy on the back. They don't worry about it and didn't get bothered at all. But that's not the truth. I tried to.
But human nature is a funny thing, right? I mean,
but I think you get to the point, Josh, where you say, "Hey, look, these guys are trying as hard as I am, and they pick me up when I make mistakes. Now it's my opportunity to pick them up.
Yep, that's the right
I've got to make a good pitch. Let me make up for that error with a better pitch, get a double play, get out of the inning, whatever the case is." But it's all part of the process, I think, of learning how to compete at the major league level.
The 1-out walk to Brandon Inge is going to bring up the 2-for-2 Casper Wells. Double play certainly in order here.
And Buzz, how about your perspective on Derek tonight? Looked like pretty good stuff, but not enough strikes.
Yeah, it was a struggle, Tom. And I thought I'm all for pitching guys inside. I don't think it's done enough to protect your ability to throw outside. I thought Derek might have fallen in love with trying to get guys conscious of the inside part of the plate, trying to throw called strikes in there. And when you're trying to throw across the plate, a left-hander in his case, to a right-handed batter, I think it's pretty difficult to throw called strikes on the inside corner.
A bloop, and this time it falls, making Wells 3 for 3. Rangers are 1 for 2 catching bloops in this inning. Up comes Gerald Laird, and again the double play in order.
And to finish the thought on Derek, Tom, I didn't see him except for one hitter really throw a quality strike on the outside corner, and that was to Cabrera when he struck him out.
Yeah, when he kind of waved at in that at bat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good fastball to the outside corner, was down in the strike zone. And other than that, I didn't see him try and nail down that outside corner. You saw enough guys that could really pinpoint the outside corner when they wanted to get a strike as a hitter, and I still think that's applicable today.
Nippert hitting Laird to load the bases for Santiago. So we have seen 4 hit batsmen in just more than 4 innings in this game, and another visit from Mike Maddox. You know, you kind of hinted at it, Buzz. Holland, at the very least, not scared against Miguel Cabrera. That is a big-time MVP candidate, strong right-hand hitter. And he neutralized him pretty well. 2 strikeouts and a pop-up.
Yep. And, you know, I think if you can throw the ball inside to Cabrera as a left-hander, particularly left-handed pitcher, you're going to have success if you don't hit him. But the problem about throwing inside the big right-handed hitters is if you let it drift over the plate, you're in a world of trouble. And Derek did not do that tonight to Cabrera. But it looked to me, to put it in a nutshell, like he was pitching every Tiger hitter, every right-handed Tiger hitter, like it was Miguel Cabrera. And I think that's a mistake, where he was afraid to let them get their arms extended.
It's a no decision for Holland either way. And only one of those runs he allowed was earned. Nippert to Santiago, strike 1 with a foul. Would a hitter like this drive you crazy? I mean, we've seen Santiago with a 13-pitch at bat before.
Yeah, very pesky hitter. You know, the one thing you don't worry too much about with a guy like him is the home run ball. But certainly in a situation like this where a base hit can do a lot of damage, you're very aware of his ability to make contact. I think this is a situation, Josh, where if you have any doubt in your mind what to throw, you throw your best pitch. Don't even give it a thought about what his weakness or strength is.
Wow.
Out of nowhere, he drops that curveball.
Haven't seen that one yet. Action begins behind Nippert already in the Ranger bullpen. Of course, the Rangers have a full complement of bullpen guys now. Got him. Nippert, after he showed him that curve, roars in there with the fastball.
That was a pretty well located fastball, too, right in the inside corner. A little trouble with his command, but not on these last 2 pitches.
They have kept Santiago in check tonight. Now Austin Jackson. And he will take just inside. Hasn't hit the ball out of the infield yet tonight. As you look at Ogando getting ready out there. A little bit of rain starting to fall. On the edge of this system. And hopefully that means we will just see light rain.
Well, one more out here, and well, no, it's not an official game. It's a tie game. What am I talking about?
What are you saying? Towards third, it's foul.
Now, you were just anticipating
sometimes
the Rangers
things come to your mind, and rather than think before you talk, you just open your big mouth.
You were just anticipating the Rangers coming up with a run in the bottom of the 5th, and it would be.
There you go.
Nippert with the bases loaded here, trying to keep it 4-4. Got him!
Wow, you got in trouble and got serious.
Good to see you, Steve Busby.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it.
Started off a little shaky, Buzz, but you finished up pretty strong.
It's how you finish, not how you start.
That's exactly right.
Boy, that is so true. Back with more in just a little bit. Murphy, who started all the wacky shenanigans last inning with a home run that sailed right over top of the foul pole. He's going to begin things in the bottom of the 5th now with a light rain falling here in Arlington. Jeremy Bonderman stays on the mound. He's used to a light rain falling. He's from Washington State. And a guy with a playoff pedigree. Murphy to left field instead of right field this time. That'll work.
I'd say he's throwing the bat pretty well tonight.
What a night for David Murphy.
You pitch him away, he doubles to left. You pitch him middle of the plate in, he homers to right.
2 doubles and a homer. Don't mess with the Murph. He's got a 12-game hitting streak. That's a career high. They're looking at Murphy going, dude, where's the cloth? Murph.
He said, hey, I've already done it twice.
Now we're just rubbing it in, I guess. Moreland can't believe it. He's like, I thought when you get a hit, you got to give the claw sign.
Up and away, go away with it.
Vladimir Guerrero nails it into center field. A throw home for no reason. The Rangers with runners at the corners and nobody out. Nelson Cruz coming up.
A good spot for Nelly right here. Nelly's grounded out to first. Hit one right off the end of the bat. And hit into a fielder's choice.
Nelly's got a hitting streak going too. He's at 5. It's modest, but see if he can roll that to 6 and give the Rangers a lead. Vladdy, meantime, with a 9-game hitting streak. You got Murphy with a 12, Guerrero with a 9. And the Rangers, who were trailing 4-1, now back even at 4-4 and poised to take a lead. Kinsler's on deck. Max Schlereth has gotten up in the bullpen. Bonine's been throwing earlier out there. Or Daniel Schlereth, sorry about that. Max Scherzer, Daniel Schlereth. They're both really tough to say.
Rangers miss Scherzer in this 2-game set. Miss Justin Verlander, too.
It sounds like they'll get Armando Galarraga tomorrow. Originally, we were told Rick Porcello, but they've changed that out.
Change that?
Yep. This just in. On 2-2. Smacked foul by Cruz. Got to be about 25,000 or so here tonight on a Tuesday night. Larger crowd expected tomorrow night. $1 hot dog night tomorrow. Last one of those of the year. Nelly didn't take the bait. Murphy at third, Guerrero at first. And Nelly just kind of pokes it up in the air. Santiago will make the catch for out number 1.
Off-speed pitch by Bonderman on the 2-2 pitch and on the 3-2 pitch.
Jim Leyland is going to stick with Bonderman, who's at 90 pitches. Looked to be a strike. Now Kinsler, who has a couple of walks. Boy, it's helped tonight, Tag, that the Tigers have stranded 9 through 5 innings. Kinsler launches but foul. Ian having missed 57 games this year. Healthy again, and the key obviously is to make sure he stays that way. Rangers will need him. Still a very light rain, and still some wind to deal with. Mitch Moreland will be next, but first a 1-2 to Kinsler. He's going to pop it up. That's 2 of those in a row. Gerald Laird, for the second time, is going to take care of Kinsler. He threw him out once, and this time he's got him on a foul out. Well, it's up to Mitch Moreland to save the day here. He had first and third, nobody out. Now it's first and third, 2 out. Do you get a lefty in there for Moreland or no?
Well, both Murphy and Guerrero started the inning off by hitting fastballs, and since that time, there haven't been many fastballs thrown. Everything has been slow, off speed, and both Cruz and Kinsler made outs, pop-ups on off-speed pitches they were a little bit out in front of.
Moreland has hit the ball right on the screws twice tonight. Line to center, single to right.
He had the lefty warmed up, but I think the fact that Bonderman got Cruz, got Kinsler, gave Jim Leland a little more confidence and wants to leave him in there to see if he can get out of the 5th inning.
And if there's any kind of advanced scouting that's been done correctly by Detroit, I'm sure they'll know that the last few times the opposition has gone and gotten the matchup lefty for Moreland, Moreland has made him pay.
Yeah, Moreland does not look like the kind of guy that is significantly bothered by a left-hand pitcher, especially for a young guy.
Taken outside.
And this is almost an intentional walk right here. Showing any inclination at all to show Moreland a strike. Although the first one was pretty close.
Yeah, there's Laird setting off way off the plate. Bonderman has handled Trainer very well. Trainer, who was supposed to be with the Tigers last year, but he had the hip surgery and never really got going.
Be Bonderman's last hitter, one way or the other.
If that A-team music doesn't fire up Trainer, I don't know what will. Trying to break a 4-4 tie here in the last of the 5th. '99th pitch of the night's a pretty good one.
And again, another breaking ball. A little tougher to be patient with the bases loaded. That one looked like it might be a little bit out of the strike zone.
Second time the Trainers had that result on that pitch. It's 0-2. Matt came in 9 for his last 53. The other catcher, who's a veteran, that's Molina, of course. He's got the exact same thing going, 9 for 53. Tried to tempt him one more time. This time he held up. Rangers out hitting the Tigers 6-5. If Trainer doesn't come through, we're going to be talking about 16 men left on base for the two teams combined in 5 innings. Inning started with a double to the opposite field by Murphy. Guerrero singled him to third. Then a couple of pop outs and the walk. Slow roller to short. Trainer busting it down the line, but he is out. And the Rangers cannot score. Tigers 4 and the Rangers 4 at the end of 5 tonight. Sponsor of Texas Baseball and by Verizon Wireless. Own the airwaves, rule the air. As we go to the 6th inning, we go to Jim Knox.
Hey, Josh and Tom, this is Mabel Wheat. She's the one that set up the ice cream. You work at Miller Pharmacy in Cooper, Texas, in between Sulphur Springs and also Paris. How many years have you worked there, Miller?
59 years.
59 years. And what do you do there?
I make milkshakes and malts, sundaes, Coke floats, Dr. Pepper floats, and all kinds of ice cream sodas.
There you go. You're a big-time Ranger fan. This is one of her first times to ever come to the game, courtesy of the Texas Rangers. Brought, I think, the whole town of Cooper with her, right? All right, hello, Cooper. You want to say something to Cooper, right?
Yeah. Hello, Cooper, all you guys, and some in Tyler, too. A lady that watches me in Tyler.
Oh, there we go. All right. Well, good seeing you. Good having you out of the game. Thanks for the ice cream. Thank you.
It's homemade.
Oh, it is? You made it? Yeah. All right. Way to go, Mabel. Thank you.
Every meal I serve, I make it.
All right.
I mean, all kinds of people. I love it.
Josh, we're going to talk a few innings. We'll send it back to you, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, I do. I love you. That'd be nice right there.
Will Rhines is pinch hitting. We're just going to eavesdrop on the conversation there? Or?
Just everything. I got all the book and I get on the sign.
She's great. 59 years making milkshakes. That's great. She probably knows just about everybody in Cooper, and I'm sure everybody in Cooper knows her, too.
The run up there they have every year, and he comes and rides in that special ride.
All right, so with Will Rhines batting, a 3-1 count. He's going to take a strike on the outside corner. Now, a little bit curious that Rhines is in here. I mean, Sizemore with a walk and 2 singles. But they want the lefty in there, and he's going to foul it back here.
Yeah, it must be just a situation where Jim Leland is playing both of the guys, giving them both a chance, and determines who plays by whether the pitcher is left-handed or right-handed. But Sizemore did have a nice game, 2 for 2 with a walk. But Rhymes is having a pretty nice time of it this year too, hitting over 300 with 145 at bats.
He's a 27th round draft pick. He's going to pop this one up. Pop-ups have been perilous tonight, but Kinsler's got this one two-handed. So Rhymes is out. Rayburn is up. We mentioned a no decision for Derek Holland tonight. 4 innings of 4-hit, 4-run baseball, but only one of those 4 runs was earned. Well, Ryan Rayburn kind of under the radar here, Tag, but what a tough out he's been the last 5 or 6 weeks. Last 30 games hitting about 355. With Miguel Cabrera on deck, you always want to keep whoever's hitting before Cabrera off base. You don't want to give Cabrera that RBI opportunity. Well, when they had Ordonez and Guillen surrounding Cabrera, the 3 Venezuelans, all of whom can hurt you, that's a scary 3-4-5 when they're healthy. A strike, 2-2.
I like seeing that pitch called a strike. Generally, the tracker verifies it, but I think personally that pitch is overlooked as a strike. It's a strike. Good call. Definitely good call by Brian Menzies.
Fouled by Rayburn into the crowd. Well, the 7:05 game tomorrow. The tickets are available at TexasRangers.com or calling 972 Rangers. Then the Rangers on Thursday evening will head to Seattle. Get ready for a series out there. Then on to Anaheim and on to Oakland. Taken. Strike 3. And Rayburn, with Chuck Morgan playing the match game 76 music. Very, very nicely done, Chuck. Rayburn is out on strikes.
Very, very nice by you to recognize that.
Well, that's who I am and what I do. You talk about whether a pitch is a strike or not.
I just saw your eyes light up when you heard that.
Wow, Gene Rayburn, no relation. With that 17 to 20-inch microphone. One and 0 to Cabrera, and indeed he will bat with nobody on. That's the preferred position. Tied him up.
Well, a bad night so far for Cabrera.
Cabrera, the final out of the 6th. The Rangers now will try this again to grab a lead on the Tigers when we come back. Ranger hits the grand slam this inning, giving away $25,000. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. A new pitcher is out there for the Tigers. That is Daniel Schlereth. He is the son of the former NFL offensive lineman Max Schlereth. Now a very good analyst. And he is... Did I say Max again?
You said Max.
Boy,
you got Max Scherzer down.
I really do. Mark Schlereth.
Mark Schlereth,
yeah.
there you go.
Somewhere out there in the world there's a guy named Max Schlereth. But this is not him.
There's Max Scherzer.
Yeah, and Daniel and or Mark Schlereth. Try to say that like 9 times in a row.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, Daniel was a #1 draft choice by Arizona. Came over in that big trade that brought 4 young players to the Tigers. Talked about Austin Jackson. It was a 3-way trade. Yankees were included in it. Got a good curveball. Watch out.
Watch out, Mr. Bourbon with Andrews on deck.
Pretty good fastball, too, at 93 miles an hour.
You didn't like saying Kila Ka'ihua.
No.
I'm out on Daniel Schlereth.
Kila for short.
One man's Ka'ihua is another man's Schlereth.
That's a good point.
What my grandma used to say all the time. Then again, Grandma wasn't quite right.
That's not nice.
You don't know which grandma I'm talking about.
Well, maybe she's not.
It's 1 and 2. I kid. The lefty-to-lefty matchup.
Oh, that's a good curveball right there.
Bourbon barely getting the piece. Interesting background for Schlereth just in terms of where he's been. Born in Alaska. Now lives in Lone Tree, Colorado. You know how many trees there are in Lone Tree, Tom?
1.
1 tree. Check swing by Bourbon. Yeah, Schlereth originally drafted by the A's, 8th round, said no to them. And went back to school at the University of Arizona and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Would follow up, take him in the 1st round. Bouncing ball towards short. And Bourbon, the first out of the inning. Still a lot to like about Bourbon and how it's been going for him.
That was quick.
Yeah, short night for Schlereth. This particular broadcast booth is okay with that. A more easily pronounceable relief pitcher is coming on. We'll tell you about him when we come back. It's 4-4. Fan Appreciation Day. Come see the Rangers take on the Angels. TexasRangers.com is where you go to get the tickets, or call 972-RANGERS. Let the Rangers appreciate you. More details on how they will do that to follow. So not tonight, because I have no such information. Jim Sundberg enjoying the game.
With wife Janet.
And popcorn. Robbie Weinhart, the new pitcher. A right-hander summoned to take on Andrews and Young. I'll set his numbers for you in just a moment. Like now. Andrews jumps on this one. It's going to drop down in a left to base hit. He's 2 for 4. A little bit of running possibly now with Elvis Andrews.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. You've got Michael Young at the plate. Michael can handle the bat. You could do a little hit and run. You could try to steal second. A lot of different ways to go about it right here.
Not running yet. Michael takes the strike. Rangers now out hitting Detroit 7-5. I'm thinking along with the guy with 30 steals, a toss to keep Elvis close.
Good guess. Tried to pitch out. Nothing going.
Incorrect. You don't figure they're going to... Well, maybe you never know. Let's see if they dare pitch out again.
That's early in the count. Wouldn't be the first time it ever happened. You don't see it a lot.
That from a guy who's about seen it all, Jim Leland. Veteran manager of this Tiger team. Had a real good staff, too. Gene Lamont is trusted third base coach. Got a good hitting coach in Lloyd McClendon. I know you're familiar with the pitching coach, Rick Knapp.
Rick Knapp, yeah. He was a pitcher in our organization. Minor league pitcher for a long time. And then a minor league coach.
He and his family still live down in Port Charlotte, where the Rangers used to have their spring training. Elvis goes this time, and Michael Young, base hit into right center. Elvis flies around to third. He is being held. Runners at the corners and just one out. Young coming through on the hit and run. It brings up the 3 for 3 David Murphy.
Well, let's try this first and third thing again.
Yeah.
Last inning was first and third and nobody out.
Your Land Rover extraordinary performance of the night. David Murphy with 2 doubles and a home run tonight.
And David started that first and third situation last inning with a double. Had a chance to finish it off now.
Well, Josh Hamilton's already had himself a 4 extra base hit game this year. If you really want to do the Hamilton impression, do it really well. Let's see if Murphy can follow that. About to push that batting average into the 290s. It's only the 3rd time he's ever had a 3 extra base hit game. Slowly hit. Will get the job done. It's dropped by Rhymes. Everybody's safe.
The run
was going to score anyway because there's no way they're going to turn a double play. So it'll be an E4. Dave will get an RBI on that. There we go. High chop. He wasn't going to be able to turn 2, but he would have been able to get the out at second until he bobbled it, and then he couldn't get the out at first.
Vladimir Guerrero swinging. Line shot left field, caught. And a throw back towards second. Young barely getting there in time. Boy, Vladdy just attacking that first pitch.
That was a rope. Hit it right at him.
Gonna put in the call for Nelson Cruz.
All right.
Got to elevate one here.
Vladdy needed to elevate that line shot. Would have been 3 more.
Nelly's got the only 2 home runs in the last 4 games in this ballpark. He hit him in that same game, that 13-inning thriller. Off the pitcher, pinballing into left. 6-4.
That's too bad. That hit him hard. That was a bullet of a ground ball. If it didn't hit him, it would have been up the middle. I hope he's all right because that ball was really hit hard.
Weinhardt is going to put on a tough guy face right here, but you know he is bruised. The Rangers have scored twice in the 6th inning. Yeah, that really was a shot. Boy, 2 straight swings producing line drives, vicious line drives.
That's another earned run. A lot of unearned runs in this game. That's 2 for the Tigers. There have been 3 for the Rangers.
Nelly getting RBI number 71. Well, good thing it hit the ground first, huh?
Yeah, it might have slowed it down a little bit. I don't think it lessens the pain a whole lot for Weinhardt, who's going to stay in the game.
So the Rangers had trailed 4-1. Now they lead 6-4.
The Yankees and the Rays went to extra innings at nothing yesterday. Today they have a chance to go to extra innings, tied at 7.
If a tree falls in a forest, does anybody hear the sound? I would hope
doesn't sound like it.
No, I would hope there's a better attendance here tonight. Looks like some kind of series. Kinsler's already walked twice and has fouled out once. Weinhardt brings it. Kinsler takes it. And where did he think he was going?
He thought he struck out.
Good thing he was wrong.
That's embarrassing for the hitter.
What's the umpire thinking? I mean,
well, maybe it was outside and he just thought the pitcher was going to get the call.
That's something you almost never see.
You see it the opposite way where he tries to go to first and it's strike 3.
Good thing he didn't strike out. It is 7-4 Rangers. They are singling the Tigers to death here in this inning.
Well, again, that after the error, the last couple of runs have been unearned, but both of them certainly well hit.
Jim Leland would have liked to have seen that as a called third strike for sure. Brian Runge did not accommodate. Now Moreland taking outside. Action continues in the Tiger bullpen. It's Eddie Bonine up again.
Wow.
You could do that, right?
Oh, yeah. With a hairpiece.
That one's down. It's 2-1. Matt Trainer would be next. The Rangers with a 3-run fourth and a 3-run sixth after getting one way back in the first. Outside. We know the Oakland A's are going to lose tonight. If the Rangers can hold this lead, a 9-game edge in the West. Club to first, fair ball, inning over. And another eventful inning for the Rangers. They lead it 7-4. To learn more, go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Well, the Rangers have been piling up runs lately, doing this without Josh Hamilton. The hope is to get Josh back early on this coming road trip. There's Peralta hitting one high off of Nippert. And Bourbon right there, one pitch, one out.
6 up, 6 down. After Dustin loaded the bases in the 5th inning with a hit by pitch to Gerald Laird. 3 strikeouts in those 6 outs. Good job by Dustin.
Yep, he is the pitcher of record. Clay Rapata getting ready. That matchup lefty. And now Mr. Inge. You like those forearm tattoos he's got there, Tag? Those are for his kids.
Are they?
Yep.
They look good on him.
Tyler and Samuel in very ornate lettering. I guess if they have another kid go leg, or name the kid Ed, and you can do it on your neck, I guess.
Yeah.
On appeal, no swing, says Jerry Lane.
There's going to be a Samuel in my family tomorrow.
Tomorrow, huh?
Yep.
Congratulations.
My daughter's going to have her baby tomorrow.
Outstanding.
Samuel Allen Danzy.
I like it. Kinsler taking inside corner. So you're going to be a grandpa how many times over?
That'll be 8 times.
Wow. Very cool.
2 within the last month.
Yeah, slow down, will you?
I think that's going to be it.
You're having a procedure?
Well, that's a good point. I could have another child.
Kinsler taking care of that. Well, I'm not endorsing one way or the other. I'm just. Anyway, here's Casper Wells.
Actually, I couldn't have another child.
I don't want to know.
I had a procedure myself a couple years ago. Probably prevent that from happening.
More on the Dr. Oz show when we come back. Wells 3 for 3 so far. Is going to take down too low.
For a minute, I forgot.
Good, actually, in a way. We're just happy you're here.
Won't be any paternity suits, I know that.
Good, I was worried. Nippert brings it in, and Wells will foul it off.
Ooh, watch out. That one came in very fast.
Rangers trailed this game, believe it or not, 4-1. Back with a 3-run 4th and a 3-run 6th. Boy, big hits from David Murphy all night tonight. They want it in on the hands of Wells.
And Destin throwing a lot of strikes now. Looking good.
And Murphy on base 4 times, 2 doubles and a homer. He homered right over the foul pole and right. A play that had to be reviewed. Taken. Close. Nippert can't get it.
Look at that chip shot.
Wow. That's a bizarre way to go 4 for 4. But Casper Wells, for the first time in his big league career, has a 4-hit game. That's what you got to call that, right? A hit?
That's a hit. He's not complaining. He'll take it.
That's like if you drop your fishing line in the water, no bait, and a fish just jumps on it. You can say, yeah, you caught a fish.
You caught a fish,
yeah.
technically. That ball, that didn't come too far from his fingers.
That's a peach, hon.
That's a beauty.
Now Gerald Laird, one-time battery mate of Dustin Nippert. Nippert missing in, and again, pretty close. Young in a little bit at third. Remember, Gerald likes that surprise bunt. Swinging instead, and there's Nelson Cruz. At the stretch here in Arlington, the Rangers, on a night where the A's have lost, leading 7-4. AL Division Series here at the ballpark, going on sale at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Rangers also have luxury suite rentals available for any postseason possibilities. 972 Rangers or TexasRangers.com, or in person at the ballpark box office on the first base side, starting Saturday at 9 a.m. Looking more and more likely, Mr. Grieve. The A's getting trounced in Kansas City tonight. The Rangers leading the Tigers 7-4. And Matt Trainer looking for his first hit. He's got it off Eddie Bonine just into the game.
Pretty good year for Bonine, 60 innings. He's got a .290 opponent's batting average, but a good solid ERA at 3.90. 4-1. He's had one start, 39 relief appearances.
Now he's going to face Mr. Bourbon. There's the bunt. Boy, he's gotten so good at that. His 13th bunt hit of the year.
Well, we were talking the other day how he's getting very proficient at dragging the ball toward first base, and that he needed to work a little bit on getting it down the third base line. And that's exactly what he did right there. So all the hard work that he's been doing all season long, trying to get better and better at doing that, is starting to pay off at the end of the year. And Julio's played a huge part in the success the Rangers have had over the last couple of weeks, and in this winning streak that they're on right now. And that's one of the things he's been able to do.
Now an opportunity for Elvis Andrus. They're thinking bunt from him. Inge in on the grass at third. Elvis squares. Another beauty. And he's going to be safe too. The bunt is a weapon.
That's exactly where you want to bunt it. Right down the third base line. Make the third baseman field it. That was such a good bunt. It might have been a base hit anyway, even if Inge did field it.
Well, you love that thick grass for your bunters. Inge is a great athlete. That's twice tonight that he's not been able to get the handle on a ball.
He'll probably goes base hit.
Yep. Now the opportunity for Young and Murphy. And the infield in a little bit. Michael Young twisting it fair. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. They're waving Bourbon. Here he comes. Would you believe 3 on that swing? 10-4.
Well, you know, over the course of the season, you hit a lot of balls hard that are caught, and every now and then you hit one that isn't caught, and that one Michael just sliced right down the third baseline. What a great time to get that hit with the bases loaded. Kind of a ball off the handle, just inside the bag. Gets jammed on a pitch that's not a strike, but the result is a thing of beauty. A 3-run double.
3-hit night for Michael Young. He's up to 82 runs batted in.
Boy, for Eddie Bonine, you come into the game, you give up a single, 2 bunts, and that double by Michael Young off the handle, and all of a sudden you've got 3 runs before you can even blink.
Bonine's got to be thinking, really? Trainer, a first pitch single, yeah, then 2 bunts and whatever that thing is from Young. Murphy with a ground out to move Young to third, and up comes Vlad Guerrero.
82 RBIs now for Michael.
What a great opportunity for Vladdy with the infield in. First pitch swing. You know he loves to do it. Jackson finds the baseball. It's a sac fly RBI. The Rangers have scored the last 10 runs of this game.
The mind-boggling thing, not mind-boggling, but the unusual thing to me is the last 3 times up, Vladdy has had a good pitch to hit right off the bat. He's got a single. There was a rope, a line shot to left, and now a line shot to center for a sacrifice fly.
My mind is boggled.
Yeah, generally you don't see that.
A 3-run fourth, a 3-run sixth, and a 4-run seventh. And now the Rangers are in coast mode. But remember back when Dustin Nippert first came in this game, and it was tied 4-4. It was bases loaded for Detroit, and only one out. And Dustin pitched out of that. That might have been the key area of the game right there.
He struck out Santiago with a great fastball in, and then got Jackson to swing at a high fastball. And 2 strikeouts got out of that inning.
Right now we can officially report, Tom, the magic number is down to 11. Kansas City has just now knocked off Oakland 11-3. The A's are simply a 500 team right now. The Rangers anything but.
And the only reason the A's are a 500 team is because of their pitching. They're about a 25 game under team if they've got bad pitching, even mediocre pitching.
Cruz rung up on strikes. But the Rangers score 4 times in the last of the 7th. Nice little 11-4 ball game tonight. Hard blast the night where the Rangers hit a bunch of singles. David Murphy sent this one roaring somewhere near that foul pole. They looked at it on review, decided that was a home run. And now the Rangers lead 11-4. That was really the shot, Tom, that started the whole comeback.
Really did. Who knows if that was called foul? Who knows what would have happened?
Nippert continues on the mound, and they're going to update now on that magic number tote board. Since the A's have lost, any combination of Ranger wins and A's losses the rest of the way, totaling 11. And the Rangers are officially in.
Boy, Dustin's mowing them down now. Very effective fastball.
We go to Jim Knox.
All right, guys, time for the fan of the game. It's got to be one of these great Ranger fans from Wichita Falls come all the way in. I like summer because of the great artwork, and plus I need a sidekick. Here's your hat.
You do need a sidekick.
Here's the upgrade to the suite. Just kidding on that one. Congratulations. You got anything to say?
When can I start?
What can you start? Well, now back to Josh and Tom. How about that?
Back to you, Josh and Tom.
There we go.
Josh, we like your MySpace music. Thank you.
Thank you. Way to go. Thanks for coming in.
Cool. Thanks.
Jim has got a sidekick.
I love it. I'm going to start selling albums.
That was pretty nice of her.
Well, that's how you butter up potential employers. You know, you go right to that soft spot. And
very nice.
Crowd of 24,452 tonight. Oh, say cheese. Say can too. In for Michael Young at third right now. Will Rhymes is the batter. We saw some light rain for about an inning, Tom, and I guess we're pretty lucky that that's all we had.
Yep, didn't last long. Moved right by.
Some surrounding areas in the Metroplex.
And the flags have turned around, too. They're no longer blowing straight in from left field. Nice temperature, though, 76 degrees.
Yeah, take that. How about a nice kind of 55-degree nip in the air about mid to late October? And you're here at the ballpark. How'd you like that?
I like it a lot.
I know, first things first, the Rangers have to wrap up the division. They've got a 9-game lead tonight if they win. Still got to play the A's head-to-head 4 times. 9-game lead could quickly become 5 if you're not careful. To left field, and there's Murphy. And there's getting a little bit closer tonight. Rangers by 7.
Another big night for David Murphy. 2 doubles and a home run. He says he is not trying to fill the spot of Josh Hamilton. Just keep it warm until he gets back.
You'd have to be pretty stupid not to realize that Josh is about the best player in the American League or in Major League Baseball, and I know that I can't replace him. You know, I'm trying to do whatever I can to do little things, play good defense, fill in any way I can, but definitely not replace him.
And the latest on Josh Hamilton, took some swings today. He did have some discomfort in that rib cage area. He has been hanging out in the hyperbaric chamber, guys, and I talked to John Daniels today. He said, optimistically speaking, this weekend is still in the picture, not out of the question just yet, but that is very optimistic.
Thank you, Em, very much. Alfredo Figueroa takes over on the mound for the Tigers. With the Rangers having scored the last 10 runs tonight, even without Josh, leading 11-4. You ever try out the hyperbaric chamber?
No, but I've heard of the hyperbaric chamber, and I know some instances where it's been very successful. So with my limited knowledge, I'd say that's a good idea.
Figaro's not close. 3-0 on Kinsler, who's already walked twice. This is not starting well for Figaro. Well, 3 times on base for Kinsler, 3 times for Andrews, 3 times for Young, 4 for Murphy.
3 walks for Kinsler tonight. 3 walks and a single.
We're going to get Jose Valverde up. The Tigers had stranded 9 base runners through 5 innings. And at that point, it was a 4-4 game. They never really had the impetus to get this thing put away when they had the opportunity. Valverde, a guy that needs to stay sharp, may or may not get in. High pop-up from Mitch Moreland. The engineer that coach's box has got it. Moreland's played some defense tonight. Been on base a couple times, but also this play on Johnny Peralta, our Coors Light freeze can. The Rangers dropped a couple of fly balls when the wind really got kicking. And as it turned out, it didn't hurt them all that much, even though Derek Holland certainly didn't benefit from it. Holland lasted only 4 innings. His command wasn't great tonight, but he did deserve a better fate. He had those 2 drop fly balls that led to 3 unearned runs.
Yeah, I thought Derek had good stuff again. Struck out 5 in 4 innings. Didn't have the command that he'd like to have. That cost all those pitches. Could have been a little bit better, but overall he's still going out there with good stuff, that's for sure.
Trainer 1 out of 4. You've got Bourbon on deck. And tomorrow night, Colby Lewis on the mound, going for win number 11. Again, we heard mid-game Armando Galarraga instead of Rick Porcello tomorrow. Then the Rangers have that night off on Thursday, and then it's some late-night West Coast baseball for a while. From Seattle, from Anaheim, and Oakland. Inside almost hit him. $14 Ranger hits tonight. They had only 2 through 3 innings. On the ground here, 3rd foul. By the way, the Yankees, Tom, in extra innings beat Tampa Bay 8-7.
Big win for them. They'd lost 4 in a row.
It was a home run from Jorge Posada to win it.
That was a home run for Tampa Bay last night that won it. They don't have the attendance on there, do they?
I was just looking for that. in the hands of trainers. Strangely, in the box score, they've got, they list the field conditions, and indoors, they're not going to give you a temperature usually. They list the wind at -1 mile an hour. How can the wind be -1? Air conditioning intake, -1?
They were playing in a vacuum.
I guess. The 1-2 again is down and in. If they do happen to list in attendance, I'll let you know. Happy to let you know about the reverse wind, however. Again, the A's got clobbered tonight. On the ground at third base. There's one, there's two. We'll come back with the attendance totals from that Tampa Bay game and the top of the ninth. The Rangers lead the Tigers 11. F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one for it is the best in Texas. Tom Grieve wanted to know the attendance in Tampa Bay tonight for that big Yankees-Rays game. 28,000.
Well, it's better, but not good. Heck, there's 28,000 in Yankee Stadium for batting practice.
Here's Ryan Rayburn with Dustin Nippert trying to finish up here. How about Dustin Nippert now?
Yeah, this might be Dustin's best outing of the year. A couple of hits and a walk going into his fifth inning.
He just kind of wandered into the game in the fifth inning, and yeah, he's got a chance to go 5 in relief of Derek Holland. Although here he's 3-0 to Rayburn. Johnny Damon's come out on deck. David Murphy set the tone offensively tonight. His first 3 ABs went double homer double. That's the only homer tonight, the one from Murphy. Backing up is Cantu. Long, strong throw. Cantu wants to remind everybody that he's not bad out there.
Nice play by Jorge. Backhanded it, long throw accurately across the diamond.
With one out, we say hello to John Radigan.
Hello, Josh. We are here at the Rangers live set. Steve Busby will be joining me after the game. We're here for the Rangers fan. Lots of Rangers fans will be behind us. We'll give you lots of post-game analysis, post-game reaction. We'll tell you how and why the Rangers will knock 2 digits off the magic number tonight. It's all coming up. It's Rangers live. It might sound like we need more than 30 minutes for all that.
I know.
If we do, we'll take it. I've been authorized, Josh. If we need 31 or 32, we're going to take it.
You see the guy with the claw and the antlers there, Johnny, right behind you?
Oh, look, hang on.
Over your right shoulder.
Yes, I see him. And the painted face?
Yeah, you're staring him down right now.
A beautiful claw, too. That's a homemade claw.
Serious, boy.
Kind of like, give me the... Yeah. Look at this. See, he's got it.
There you go.
He's got it. Great claw.
Everybody's doing the claw.
They are.
When the Marlins...
Brian Runge's doing the claw. He's the home plate umpire.
When the Marlins first started getting good... Ooh, here's Damon, a little check swing roller, and that's right near the line. Nippert is over to make sure it stays foul.
That ball looked like it was coming back, too. That's a nice play by Dustin. Saved himself a base runner.
Remember in '98, I don't know if you do remember this or not, Tom, there was the ska band, the Real Big Fish, and their song was Everybody's Doing the Fish. And the Marlins had that one sweeping southern Florida. Now it's doing the claw instead of the fish a dozen years later. Well, it was real close to still being on the line.
I think it would have come back. That's a nice play by Dustin.
On the pantheon of things to do, the claw, the fish, the Super Bowl shuffle.
The Macarena.
I'm gonna put Macarena lowest spot on the totem pole.
How about the twist? Remember that?
I do remember the twist. How about the hokey pokey? Damon drills one into right. And he's on his way to second base. He'll have a 1-out double, or more. He's going to keep on moving. And sure, he's into third base. As Cruz couldn't get right on it in that corner. It's the 99th career triple for Johnny Damon. Boy, that's going to apparently be the last thing done by Dustin Nippert tonight.
Yeah, I think it's more of a pitch count thing. He's gone into the 5th inning. He's done his job. He's at 64 pitches. And I think Ron Washington's going to go out and say, nice job, kid. You did exactly what I hoped you'd do.
Boy, after loading the bases, too.
And I'm going to have someone else get these last 2 outs. Great job.
Requisite shot of a tall guy clapping for Dustin Nippert. The 6'8" right-hander stood tall out there tonight. The Rangers needed that. He is online for the win, and we'll come back in just a moment. And the third, and he will get a win tonight if indeed Alexei Ogando can get a couple of outs. The Rangers leading comfortably 11-4. Johnny Damon with a 1-out triple. And Johnny Peralta to the plate.
There's a shock, 96 miles an hour.
96 is the number for Ogando. So consistent with that.
Yeah, with some guys, you can, when you give the fastball speeds, you say he throws from 89 to 93. With Ogando, you can pretty much say he throws 96. That's what he throws.
There it is again.
I mean, there'll be one that varies a mile or two slower, and he's gotten it up to 98. But basically, it's 96 when he throws his fastball.
Well, the hit by Johnny Damon, at least giving the Tiger fans something to get interested in. It's been 4 straight innings now into a 5th without a run. Popped him up. Kinsler, who dropped one earlier, will take care of this one. 2 down.
And Dustin Nippert's got a little bit of an interest in how this inning ends up. That's his run out there at third. Ogando going a long way right there to keep that run from scoring.
The lefty's talking about things over there as Brandon Inge steps to the plate against Ogando. Don't forget, Rangers live after the ball game. (81-63) will be the Rangers' record. This will be a 6-game winning streak, and the magic number is going to be chopped down to 10. It sets up so that quite possibly Ron Washington will celebrate an AL West title on the very field where they used to coach for all those years in Oakland. Ron will dismiss that, but deep down that's got to mean something to him if that's where it happens. Say 96 there, Tom.
That's pretty much what he does.
Crowd of 24,000 watching the Rangers and Tigers. Watching Ogando trying to polish off Inge.
Well, if Inge gets on and give Casper Wells a chance to hit for the 5th time. He's had 4 singles in the game.
In for a strike. You'd love to see that runner just end up at third, not score, so that Nippert's line tomorrow will be nice and clean with a 0 for runs. He got him! Ball game! 11-4 Rangers. And though we in this booth have been dismissing talk of magic numbers, not wanting to anger the baseball gods, now that that number is 10, I think a countdown clock is probably getting pretty appropriate. The Rangers are playing some great baseball even without Josh Hamilton. 6 consecutive wins, this after a 5-game losing streak. They scored the last 10 runs tonight. And they take care of the Tigers 11-4. That magic number is 10. Rangers live on the other side of a break. Stay with us on Fox Sports Southwest.